Okay, in the last section, we talked about the quality of action, so the instances of motion, either on my part or the part of my training partner, can be understood in terms of strong and weak. Again, developing a stronger understanding of that, you can refer back to volume 1 of the video series. But now we're looking at actions in terms of their qualities of intention, like what is my training partner looking to achieve with the type of action that he's doing. And we talked about how provoker, taker, hitter amount to, at its most superficial level, kind of a rocks, paper, scissors game. So in our rocks, paper, scissors analogy, we talked about how a taker will always beat a committed hitter, right? So we're beginning in this situation. My training partner has a strong position, so he's pushing my sword outward of the center line, and he's controlling the space in between my sword and his body, right, which is my target area, with his sword. From this position, it's safe for him to extend his arms, as long as he's bringing his center of mass in behind it, to thrust. So he can send that thrust forward and hit me. And if I try and perform any kind of counteroffensive action, right, I can try and hit here, I can try and hit underneath his hands. You bring your body behind, I still end up getting hit. Or I can try and thrust through his thrust, and I still end up getting hit. There's no kind of counteroffensive action that I can do that leaves me safe when my opponent's in a strong position if he sends this thrust forward. So that's a committed hitter. My most effective option against that is going to be a taker. And so we'll talk about how to take most effectively against a strong committed thrust, right? Is that I'm going to wind into a shortened posture. So not wind to ox as I would do mostly offensively, but in this case I'm going to wind to plow. And if my opponent has committed his hitter, we find ourselves in an instance of stillness, and I have a strong position. So it's a very easy thing for me to do after he's committed the hitter, for me to immediately follow up with a thrust or some kind of setting action in response. Best case scenario for me here is I can hit short edge to the head, I can hit short edge to the head here, or I can hit thrust to the body. Both of those are good options if he's committed the thrust. But also if he is working out of tempo, meaning he's hedging on a defensive action, he's moving to some kind of defensive action before I even prosecute any kind of offensive action. So let's say he goes to a hanging parry immediately on response after, then I can follow up with various other forms of chasing, right? So best case scenario, if he's working indes, we achieve an instance of stillness. I have a strong position. We're in the Krieg. I can start my offense with a Haussetzen. Or if he works out of tempo or he moves before I start to move, then I can use the advantage that I have to chase and use my advantageous position to perform my cleanup. Now, that initial action was all compelled by my opponent being in the strong position and him setting on with his thrust. And I have to commit my parry if I want to keep him from hitting me. If he begins with, instead of a committed thrust, if he begins by feinting or provoking with an uncommitted thrust, where he doesn't bring his body in behind, and I wind to plow, it's a very easy thing for him to do, to come off my sword and hit my hands, right? And so what we can do with this is we can create a kind of a game, right? I can decide in my head what option he's going to choose. Is he going to choose a provoker, or is he going to choose a hitter? Likewise, my training partner can do the same thing. He can assess my intention being either a hitter or a taker. And so we're basically playing our rocks, paper, scissors here. If he chooses hitter and I choose taker, then I can win. If he chooses Provoker and I choose Taker, then he can win. If he chooses Provoker and I choose Hitter, then I can win. All right, and so we can play through this game using not our competency with a fencing sword, with movement, with distance management, with controlling our balance. We can take all of those aspects out of it and we can just play this very basic intention game. I'm assessing what I believe my opponent is endeavoring to do with his action. I'm choosing the correct response before anything even happens. And then as we play through this game, we'll start to be able to read signals, pressure signals, comportment signals from our training partner to get a better sense of what they're looking to do before they even start to move, which is our long-term goal with this video series. The quicker we can determine whether or not our training partner is looking to provoke, take, or hit with their actions, the easier it will be for us to both perceive those things in our training partner and respond with the correct action that we've already prepared ourselves for because we knew it was coming. So again, we're playing the game, and I'm going to choose. In this case, I'm going to choose my my response to his thrust. Regardless, initially when we start playing this game, I'm going to make my choice and I'm going to commit to it regardless of what he chooses to do. Right? My goal is to hit either initially or after a successful taker. If I choose taker and he chooses provoker, I should get hit. That's the way the game should go. And it doesn't mean anything about my competency. It means that I chose wrong in that moment. It's the same as rocks, paper, scissors. No one thinks you're a bad person because you lost at rocks, paper, scissors. No one's going to think that you're a bad fencer because you lost at this game. You're making your decision before any motion happens. Good. Nice. Nice. Thanks for watching Historical Fencing Channel content. If you'd like to learn more, check out our Patreon link in the description for detailed, one-on-one, tailored instruction. And don't forget to like and subscribe.